Hello. Oh, I need to change my settings in this. I'm so behind. Hold up. There we go. And auto. There we go. Whoever voted no, you couldn't be more off. Probably the worst, or probably the most late I've ever been today. But yeah, I'm late every time. I think I've only been on time like twice, and we've been doing this for over a year. So I hate that on Streamlabs it just completely blocks the most recent chats. It doesn't put it at the top, so it wants me to vote. Oh god. It wants me to vote, but I can't vote in Streamlabs. So I have to end the poll so it gets out of the way. There we go. 6% of you. That's probably, I'm guessing, one vote. One of you was wrong. But hello. Hello, hello, hello. No wonder it's not moving, because I'm on the wrong screen. Okay. We have the OSD kit today. It's going to look a little something like this, because that's another OSD kit that I was going to make a part of the video, and then I didn't really make it a part of the video, and then, yeah, here we are. Doesn't look very taped down. Guess we'll check later. But it is a lot more differenter from this one that we did on Monday, which is still available, by the way. If you did use a Funnyplaying shell, then it'll drop right in, because it's the same display, just different ribbon cables. But I'm going to show you how to do it all today, because in my video that comes out on Friday, I promised I would do a live in-depth tutorial on how to do this, because it is a lot more complicated than the Funnyplaying one. So yeah, and it's gonna take a bit of extra time, so let's get into it. And I'm actually gonna do one more poll, but I'll do it later, because I'm curious. There is trimming with this, and I'm gonna poll you guys to see. It sounded like a pop, but I think something fell. I don't know. Everything looks good. I lost where I was at. Okay, sound is fixed on it. Cool. It said no sound, so I wanted to double check. But let's say hi to everybody, because I forgot to do that. So, we've got Jovi, Sammy, Daniel, Joed, Erwin, DC, Levi, and that is all. Hello, Jovi. I inspired you to get into Game Boys? Awesome. Low-key, YouTube does not make justice how fire the screen of the Analog Pocket is. This is true. Did you get yours in? I'm guessing that means that. How are you liking it, Erwin? Got leftover box on my table. Okay, let's start with tearing this thing down, because we got a lot to do, and I have a lot more to do today that I need to get done. So hopefully we can get this done as soon as possible. I'm going to put my hat backwards so the bill doesn't keep knocking the camera or blocking it, and let's get started. You're going to need a tri-wing screwdriver, and there are 6 tri-wing screwdrivers here, or screws here. I only have 1 screwdriver. I feel like, yeah, that's not out all the way. Or it is. But it's pretty simple. Just unscrew the screws. So I'll read chat. 20 minutes late. It happens, man. I got mine last week and it is amazing. Weight-wise is comparable to the Slate. I'll finish that in a second. These screws just don't always want to come fully out, which is okay, because it'll most likely just let you take the back right off, because they're fully unscrewed right now. They just don't want to come out of the second half for whatever reason. It happens. I decided to keep it stock and only use with real cartridges instead of open cores. See, that's what my thought was, but I'm like, yeah, no, I like having, I mean, I use my flash cart for everything pretty much now. So it's just like having a flash cart, but you don't even need to have the flash cart in there. Plus, I was having so much trouble with the carts staying in place. Oh wow, I just noticed. I'll show you in a second if you guys didn't see it, or if you guys can't see it. But that's not right. This is quite the bend. This is also pretty matted up, and I knew about that. There's a little cut there. This shell has seen better days. But oh, it has one of the replacement speakers in it. Oh yeah, that's what it was, because they soldered it to the wrong point on the speaker. I've noticed that with these like thin speakers. I'll show you in a second after we get these last 3 screws out. One right here. One right here. And one last one here. But oh, and we gotta pull the 2 tabs up here. The shadows kind of get in the way. Maybe if I do it at an angle here. Pull the tabs up with your fingernails, and then you pull it right out. Easy as pie. We're gonna discard the rest of the shell and move on. Abraham sent a sticker with $4 attached to it. Thank you very much, dude. It's awesome. Is it not gonna wait for it? There it is.
Oh yeah.
They need to get it to show the sticker up there instead of the little SpongeBob dance. But thank you very much, dude. That was awesome. No message with it. I don't know if, can you? I'm guessing you can't send messages with the super stickers. But thank you very much, dude. It's awesome. But as I was starting to say, I've noticed a lot with these thin speakers that sound absolutely fine, is a lot of devices I'll get in and they'll say no sound, or I'll figure out that the sound is not working. And if you notice here, maybe it's a little dark, there's 3 solder blobs and 2 wires, because people are soldering this wire to there. They're doing 2 and 4 or 1 and 3, and you just got to do the 2 middle. And I think you could do the 2 out if you wanted to, 2 outer ones. I don't know. I always just do the middle ones. I don't know why there's even 4 points on it, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you skip them? I don't know. Hello, Philip, and hello, Blaine. I'm doing well. How are you doing? I'll read Erwin's chat here. Oh, he's got a couple. Mine has no issues with the cartridges. Now it's telling me if they're dirty, so I clean them and they boot right away. My problem is, I don't know, it's way over there. It just like, since there's no guard up here when you put the cartridges in, it's so loose it just comes out too easily, or it's like tilted, and then it stops being read, and it's really annoying. I hope that doesn't happen for you. But right now I can see why the analog can be considered a full emulation machine for all systems before PS1. Yeah, it works pretty well for everything. Once there's save states for NES and SNES and Genesis, I think there is for Genesis now, but then it's really just a pretty perfect little handheld. But so is the Steam Deck. If you have the money, go for the Steam Deck over the Analog Pocket. Just saying. Kind of two different beasts completely. I'm new to your stream, but I've been subbed to the channel for a while, and I'm a big fan. Thank you. How's the store going selling the modded Game Boys? I remember last time you had a bunch of inventory that didn't sell. Yeah, we still have a bunch of inventory. I'm assuming sales are going to pick up about now because it's Christmas time. But I honestly don't know. So, that's alright. Alright, let's move on. I will get to those chats later, hopefully, maybe. No promises. Okay. I really should have... Okay. Hold up. A little embarrassing, but I'm gonna double check on the guide here, because if you didn't know, when you go and you go to the listing on Retro Game Repair Shop, most of the time you can find a little picture guide in the listing. Not all of them have it, but 90% of them do. So, and we're going with the OSD, and okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to cut the edges more. I don't want to have to cut the edges. I know I'm going to have to cut stuff on the inside, but I don't have to do any trimming along the edges. Cool. Cool, cool. And, well, today we're going to solder to the vias, because technically all of these are vias, but I need to figure out which ones up here are the ones I need to solder to. But we'll worry about that later. Right now, I'm gonna put up a poll, and because I'm curious, because I've cut myself while trimming, and I have been totally fine while trimming. So, what do you think? Will I get cut? Is probably a better way to word that one. Yes or no? Let me know what you guys think. Because I've got to trim, or we, if you're following along at home. Let me flip to the viewfinder here. I have to trim pretty much, or actually you don't have to trim that. We have to trim all that. So, well, I think that a little bit too there. So that's going to be fun. I'll flip over to the other thing where the chat is. We got hi from Lord Krazu. Hi. Probably a speaker that Nintendo bought that was used in a bunch of electronics. Well, that was a replacement one, unless that's what they used in the factory to replace it, but I just don't think so. It's completely different. I don't know. Man, I love the show. It's real, and you're good at keeping me interested all the way to the end. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright. No trim yet, because I'm actually going to... I don't think I can see it from here. No. I don't want to tear this one apart. I want to see if I can find it on Google real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Wait, did I? Maybe I saved it in my photos. Maybe I did. Probably didn't. Yeah, I don't think I did. Okay. So, Game Boy, Pocket, Vias. But I think I actually... Yeah, I had to find it myself. I'm just going to open this one up. How about that? How about that? Instead of getting out the multimeter and doing all that business, let's just open the beast up. Where is it? There it is. I beat God of War last night. Not Ragnarok, but the very first one. 2005. Goodness gracious. Just stay in there. Whatever. That's exactly what I wanted to avoid. Okay. And we'll have to take that off, of course. So, I guess I could technically list this one since it's not really a part of the video. And I doubt it's going to sell anyways before the video. My chats are blocked at the moment because of the poll, but one moment please. Okay. So I'll just leave this opened and off to the side, but for now let's get this out right here. This is my craft knife, my X-Acto knife, whatever you want to call it. We're going to zoom in here. It's a little tough to see, but I need to clean up the flux on my other one here. So I can't hardly see. Which one? Okay. So, these ones up here. These ones that go lightning bolt up. We're going to do the bottom three here. Okay? And we're going to do this. I showed this off in a couple videos ago. But you're just going to take your craft knife and lightly go around the edge to scrape off the film that's on it. And I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can kind of tell. See how these three are shiny now compared to these? It's because the film is scraped off. So now, as long as you've lightly done it, very, very lightly, then we should be able to adhere some solder to it. So we'll do that right now. You can get out flux if you want. It is not a crutch. It just is messy, so I don't use it unless I need to adjust the solder, which is a lot of the time. Look at that. Look at those beautiful solder balls right there. I'm gonna unplug the soldering iron. I probably should have gotten the wires out first. Probably should also test it, but test your mod kits. But I don't know, when In my opinion, when it requires having to do a bunch of soldering, or at least any soldering to get it to at least test, it's a little silly to have to test it, but I understand why. As long as it's not fully stuck down, then it's probably should be a little returnable. But okay, I'm going to solder all of these wires in first. Okay. And I think now I'm going to use some flux, because it's a very small area and things will get messy if I don't use it. There will be bridging if I don't use it. So, okay. I was trying to get it to stick into the hole. I couldn't get it. It's alright. Just make sure when you're soldering these down that the wires don't touch each other. So that's why I'm doing them at like different angles. That one's kind of the same angle. But that, and then do one more. This one kind of lost its solder. Looks like it's bridging. It definitely is. There we go. Solder's back. Okay. But you also want to be careful that the exposed wire doesn't touch any of the other vias. So, angle them wisely. But now, I guess we will test it. Be a good boy. Okay, there's the mini ribbon cable. We'll zoom out here, and I will read some chat while I put the ribbon cable in. Okay. Wow, a lot of people chatting. Alright. What's up, brother? I love the channel. Been doing mods because of you, and it's fun as hell. Thanks for doing these, bro. You're welcome. I believe pins up. If not, we'll do it again here. I like that overlay. Might have to steal that idea. Go for it. Go for it. World Star Z uses GBA Runner. Or World Star Z uses GBA Runner. Is there any possibility to mod a GSI XL so it can play GBA games? Yep. Pretty much exactly what they said. Yeah, so what's illegal about that stuff is using ROMs that you don't own. But if you own the games and you legally backed up the ROMs, you can use emulators. There's nothing illegal about emulators. That's backwards. Not what I said. This is backwards. Okay. This one's pins down because it folds over like that. And then we can get the solder back out. I'm gonna flip back over to, well, let's see about another question here. Let's see. Erwin says, I'm playing that one on my recently modded PS2. The RetroTink 5X is an amazing little machine. That's pretty much exactly what I say in my video for next week. Way to steal that. Jeez. I'm kidding. Love you, Erwin. What do you recommend as a first Game Boy mod for beginners? I usually recommend the GBA, but honestly, the Pocket that we did on Monday was really easy, and so is the DMG. But I would still say try the advanced because you don't have to solder if you don't want to. And if you do, it's good practice and it's relatively easy unless you're a DC and you burn the pads. Have to tease them a little bit there. And it also allows you to play all the Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance and regular Game Boy, and Game Boy Color. So that's what I usually recommend. You can also do a macro. They are a little tougher and more limited, but yeah. So. Okay. I don't know when they're going to do another Steam Deck, but I just like it a lot. Seems as though you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Are you guys also going to pre-order the Game Boy 2 when it comes out? I'm assuming that's a joke. Looking forward to the Game Boy 2. Alright. Let's do the solder for the power here, which is guessing the battery. It looks like there's already solder on here. Oh, and I just did something that you should not do. Don't solder while this is on top of the screen. Here. Do this whole thing. Okay? And just for now, just do the one that says bat. Okay? Okay. Then we can solder that wire down. Then we can bring the wire around town. And then we're going to add some solder to C here. Hey, look at me, I'm Jake Simmons and I solder good and proper. I show my love for my friends and family by teasing them. That's the Simmons family way. You know you're a part of the family if we're making fun of you. But just add a little solder to C there. And go ahead. Solder that down. Looks beautiful. Now we can go ahead and test this out. Actually, I'm going to do one more thing before I test it out. No. Okay. One thing I recommend is to remove the touch pads. The touch pads. I don't know if I'm in frame. Let me swap over here. Remove the touch pads before you get to soldering. So I guess we can do at least one here. Because the touch pads are incredibly annoying. They're completely unnecessary unless you just want a touchpad to change the brightness or a touchpad to change the color palettes, which I guess I'll end up installing them, so I didn't need to do that. Personally, my personal preference is to remove them because touchpads are annoying, and since this is the OSD and we're doing all the soldering to the buttons, we'll have the menu to change the color palettes, the brightness, the everything. So it's really unnecessary, but let's put the back half on, and I'm just gonna steal this one from Monday. But if you aren't going to use the touchpads, remove them before you turn it on, just because that way you won't accidentally trigger them, and it's a little annoying to reset if it's the color palette one. But okay, and there we go. It works. Dang it! See, I changed the. I changed the color palette. That's what it's called. There's 36 of them. It's so unbelievably unnecessary. I don't know who was like, yeah, let's do that color palette. Oh, let's do that. Let's add 36 of them. 36. So if you like only like one or two of them, you have to remember the numbers, and you have to go through them like crazy to get back to the one you like. It's not annoying at all. But let's do the rest of the soldering here. And we're going to do that by turning our soldering iron back on, and we'll zoom in for the folks at home. You can take your iron and your solder, just press solder in. The ground is unnecessary, so it's a waste of solder. So I'm gonna look at my thing over here. Okay, that is select. That is the top one. Okay, so we're gonna find our wire. See the top wire here? That's gonna go to select. I'm gonna add a little more solder to that. It's not enough solder. Okay. And then the middle one is B. So this one is B. Which is labeled on the little board if you're a little confused by that. And the last one, the bottom here is A. There we go. Everything is soldered. And everything is awesome. I'm gonna resolder down here just because it's a little too close to select for my liking. So there we go. That's better. It looks beautiful. And if you're using no clean flux like I am, you don't have to touch anything. You don't have to do anything to it. We're all good here. And we can move on to the moment the poll has been waiting for. Cutting the shell. I'm going to carefully flip that back and carefully flip this over and carefully put it off to the side. Well, now we can trim. And you can use a craft knife if you have one. You can do that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. But I don't recommend the craft knife because you might cut yourself. I've done that a time or two. Watch my in-depth DMG. I did not cut myself last time because I used flush cutters. And these kind of break off pretty easily. At least the one that I did for the clear one did. Again, if you don't want to do any trimming, buy the Funnyplaying shell. But these are super clear, like in the see-through part when you get the clear shells. So they're awesome. Problem is, let's button this other one back up here. The problem with these shells and more specifically the clear ones when you have to trim them, is up here. You can see the trim line. It's rather annoying when you have this beautifully clear shell, and then you see all of the grossness underneath. Oh well. But I'm gonna end the poll. 62% of you say no, which means 48% of you. Did I do that right? No, I don't think so. 38% of you. It only tells me the top one, so it only said no at 62%. And then it dropped down to 61%. How is that even possible? That's 99. Anyways, yeah, 38% of you did not have faith in me, so thanks for that. But I kind of clickbaited you because I'm using flush cutters, and if I cut myself with flush cutters, then you should probably stop watching this channel. Okay, I'm ready to see the PS2 video next Friday. The Black Friday? No, week before Black Friday. I don't know, but there are a couple of solderless mods out there. If you want to do a full-on mod, you can get the laminated GBA IPS from Funnyplaying with its own shell and USB-C battery. You can. I didn't read his chat, but thank you, Erwin. I love when my friends in the chat answer questions for me. But the cheap backlight kits from AliExpress are usually solderless as well. Yeah, it's probably a TFT, and I just don't like TFT ones. They're okay, they get the job done, but I don't like when they're super small. But no trimming and no soldering ain't bad. Yeah, where is Rux? He's probably at work now, because I'm assuming he did get that new job. So he probably can't be on his computer as much as he was at Intel, which is alright. We will miss him dearly. I installed Linux on my fridge today. Solder, I was scared of it at first too, but it's really not that bad. If I'm being completely honest, it is not that bad. Okay, we're gonna start with trimming right here. Oh, I'm gonna swap over to the other one so I can see myself in the chat. The trimming is worse, honestly. Those always go flying, and it landed in my lap. Oh, landed it on my thumb. But FYI, your GB Pocket isn't showing up under the Pocket category, only in the All category. Thank you. I will have to adjust that. I would say that's probably why it hasn't sold, but that would be a lie. Okay. And this is the method I like to use. Sucks. I'm gonna get the paper towel out because blue on blue, not the best for demonstration purposes. It might be harder somehow. Maybe a little bit. I'm gonna manual this real quick. That didn't really help. Okay. But I just like to take this and drag it to the side. It's a little hard around the this thing, screw post, that's what it's called. I'm a professional. But once you get to a certain point, you can trim the fat, because you don't need to make one long piece of trimmed plastic. But doing this give you a nice clean cut. And when you do use a okay. Well, RIP that. Good thing the screen lint's gonna cover that up. It's not the end of the world. No one will see it. Trimming is dangerous, guys. But make a little cut before you drag. That was my mistake. Another sucky part is we're gonna have to trim half of the LED hole, even though we don't even need the LED hole because this one doesn't have an LED. So what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna trim it down about halfway and do the same thing with the pinch and twist. If you accidentally cut all of it away, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. And then we can move on. But we're just making our way downtown, walking fast. Oh, cruising now. I'm homebound. And that is all. Just trimming this little piece up here because the corner was sticking out a little bit. Okay. I think that is all the trimming that we need to do. Double check we don't have to trim the D-pad. Okay, cool. Some kits you cut that open a little bit, but this one you're good. We should be able to just, oop, there's a little piece sticking out there, but we should be able to just drop the screen in now once everything is nice and flush. Still a little bit of sticking up there, but it's not wanting to go with me. The web of lies. A color image once again on the thumbnail, and there's also an LED on the thumbnail too. Probably, I assume so. It's always Photoshop. It's 99% of the time there's some sort of Photoshop in the thumbnail. I know you're just teasing me, but there we go. What about scoring the lines with the knife and doing the wiggle? Yeah, you can do it with the craft knife, but I don't want to cut myself. I'll just do a little bit to do it away from you. Wish there was an easier way to get like flat. Okay, that's pretty good. The majority of it is flush. Plus, it's gonna rest on some tape anyways. So, and we successfully made it through with no cuts. Any cuts that I have were previously there. I have some dry skin right now, so it's not fair. Okay, now we can move on to this part, putting the double-sided tape down, which, yeah, Oh, wait, no, that's right. Okay. This is nice and thin, which is very appreciated. It's cut pretty well. It's not perfect. Would not say it's perfect at all, but I have faith in you guys to be able to line it up on your own. Sucks as there's a little bit of overhang there, but there we go. It's stuck to my finger. And then we should be able to lift the rest of it up, maybe. There we go. I don't know why the tape has to go around the LED hole, but oh well. And since this is all soldered and ready to go, we're just going to put these on the back. So you put this one on the back of the screen as it says. Peel that off. Put that down. It's not the best. It's still not the best. Oh well. Okay. And then it says this, put this one on the little PCB. I'm actually yeah, I'll put it on the PCB. It doesn't stick very well at all, but it's to protect from shorting, which is good. And then we're gonna peel this. This is really stuck on there. It's way too strong a tape. But then should hopefully good thing my fingers are clean. There's really no easy way to do this. It would be easier if I just did this, actually. Hold up, wait a minute. Let's be smart here, folks. There we go. Instead of trying to juggle the entire thing. Put this down. There you go. And just lightly put it down. It doesn't look crooked to me, but it always ends up being crooked for me. So we'll test this, because again, just lightly press it down. Also, I don't recommend doing what I just did. I'm just doing a whole bunch of things that are making it tougher. But let me expand on that. I don't recommend having to try and re-plug this PCB in once this is stuck down. Just because it's hard. It's doable. It's just hard. Because they just have to make these connectors so freaking small. There we go. I think. Good thing we're about to test it. Okay. Where's the back half? There it is. I'm just gonna reuse this back half because I can. And I don't think it gets any more lined up than that does. You guys can't really see, but man, that's lined up pretty dang perfectly. Here, turn off one light. Does that help? Turn off two lights. That doesn't help at all. But just know it's perfect. It is perfect. Okay. There we go. I'm going to quickly reinsert the touchpad because this is the brightness one, blah, 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 blah. Okay. If this was my personal device, I would not have either of the touchpads installed, but it is not my personal device, so we are installing both of them. Okay, let's put the buttons and membranes in, screw this half down, and finish the back half, then we're done. Okay. What kind of gear should I get? I only have a cheap Chinese one. Are you talking about soldering? Why not heat the edge knife? Because that's a little extreme. This is not 2017 YouTube. No hot knife challenges. Okay. Now we can put this down. Probably also put the screen lens on. Before I give it too many fingerprints. You can save that for later because I don't need those. Thankfully the screws just went everywhere. Are these all the same Phillips screw or are they different Phillips screws? Okay, so we got 1, 2. I think they're all the same. They all look the same size. So there's one. Jeez. There's 2. And one more makes 3. I feel like a spider or something crawling on my neck. That's not fun. Okay. Let's get out the canned air. because little bit of dust on it. Sorry if that ruined the mic. Where did I put the... Anybody knows where I put the screen lens? Speak up. Alright, we'll just clean up a little bit here, huh? It wouldn't be underneath there. Where in the flip? I could have sworn I had it out. Nope. It's a good thing I've got extras. But we can just peel these off. I like to try and peel the center one only halfway. And then I can push it up like that. And usually that's the least amount of fingerprints and dust. I'm just like slightly off on the... For whatever reason, it just is very tight and doesn't want to go down. So, your mileage may vary. Okay, there we go. That's what it's going to look like when we're all done. Now, we're going to peel off the touchpad over here. It's a little tough because this one that has the peel is just copper tape, and copper tape is incredibly malleable. So I'm going to take my tweezers, and we're just going to set it right up here at the top. Normally I'd put this off to the side, but it really doesn't have the length on this one. So rolling with that. And then they don't include anything. You know, I'm just gonna do that because normally that works for every other model. So, and they don't include double-sided tape. So, rolling the dice. Okay. Here they don't install this for you, so we gotta do it. There's one. There's two. There's three. There's 4. David Clark. Remember when you apologized to my mother about swearing? Now you're bringing up my butthole? Wow. Okay. We can put this in here. This just drops right in there. But, okay, yeah. It felt really loose, but doesn't seem like it's coming out. So just pop it in right there. The spring is the negative side, and you can see on there the positive and negative ends. Unless you're using the Funnyplaying one, I think it's just all flat. But just have the spring on the top part. You're fine. Only goes in one way, I'm pretty sure. So, no big deal. Okay, now I think the back half is done. So we can put this here. We can put our power switch in. And then we can put this half down since everything else is ready to go. We can swap over to our tri-wing. We're done with the Phillips. And then we can just go to town on these tri-wings. I was out for the last 15 minutes. Gotta organize my lab a little better. No worries. No worries. Pretty sure you just missed the boring parts of me putting the back half together. Shout out to Funnyplaying for not making me have to do that. And just putting the back halves of shells together. And trimming the shells. Doing everything for me. That's what I look for in a mod. Do the boring work for me. Okay. One more. I think we are all good. Put in the batteries, 1 and 2, and put the cover on. Then we can turn it on and voila. See if we can I don't know if it's the brightness one or not, but we should be able to, yeah. Is it just, I think it's a long press. Sweet. Okay, all the buttons work. The menu system is kind of bad. Because I don't remember. You press and hold select, and then press A to go up and B to go down. Okay, then A and B to select, maybe? Okay. We didn't want the battery display anyways. You can put that on, it just shows in the top left. We're gonna turn it off. And then press, yeah, okay. A and B to get in, A and B to get out. Then we go up, A and B, and then we want it off. Because look how much brighter that is. Then we can go back up, and we can, brightness is all the way up, cool. We can adjust the position. Honestly, we're pretty good on the height. so we're going to go down to the horizontal. I think that's perfect. And then, I don't know how to exit, to be honest. If you want to adjust the colors of all of the stuff you see on screen, all the color palettes, you can. I'm just not going to do it. It's a little complex. Okay, then we're just gonna turn that off because I don't know how to get out of the menu. The instructions are not very clear on how to do that, but okay, cool. So I'm gonna put in my game here and we'll test it out. Make sure everything's squeaky clean. You can kind of see where that hole is at the angle. It's really not a big deal though. Okay. Start, select A, B, right, left, down, up. Okay. Right was scaring me there for a second. We're good. There we go. Let's put the stickers on. Then I'll list it. Then I'll put back the other one, and maybe I'll list that too. There we go. Then this little guy goes up here. And no sticker for the battery cover. I like the battery cover sticker is my favorite. There we go. Okay. I read that one. I finally got the Funnyplaying shell. They give you all the different screws. Our other third-party sellers give you one type of screw for everything. Funnyplaying gives you the tri-wing. Yeah, as much as tri-wing is annoying, I do prefer having the tri-wing and the Phillips screws because it makes it easier to like just look at it. I see tri-wing, I'm like, okay, tri-wing is on the outside, easy peasy. But if they at least made them different colors, then that wouldn't be a problem either. Then I would have no problem with it being all Phillips. But it still feels weird to have all Phillips. Okay. And yeah, we can do the peel here. Beautiful. And I'm going to get my phone. We will list this on the website. So if you're wanting to get this guy right here. Oops. Set it back to auto. I haven't had it on auto in a while. But if you want this guy here, I'm going to list it right now. Go to products and Game Boy Pocket. I have to sneeze. Hold up. No, don't do this to me. Okay, not sneezing yet. Let's see here. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Duplicate. I feel the sneeze coming on again. Gosh darn it. Okay. It'll probably show no picture and one in stock. Now I've got a picture up there. Okay. And it is up there. It's not in the pockets thing. I'm gonna try and fix that real quick. Since it's not in the Pocket section. It's in the featured collection. There we go. Save that. And then we can go to this one, hit the up arrow. There we go. Now it should be in retroremaster.com/collections/pocket or Game Boy Pocket. I don't know. Should be at the link in the top of the description. There's that. Put that one off to the side. Then this one's just screwing it together. So we'll do that real quick to end the stream. And then I have got to get working on some videos. I've got to put this in tomorrow's video. This stream will be a part of tomorrow's video. Ha. And then I'm going to start editing the Ultimate PS2 video because I want to play a bunch of Pokemon all week. So I'm trying to stay ahead. Plus, it just feels good to be ahead of schedule for most of it. This video would be done by now if I didn't have to include these streams. But that's what I said in the video, so that's what we're doing. I don't know why I put the Tri-Wing away, because I need it now. How are you guys doing? Thank you for being here, Erwin. The fire emojis are what keeps me going, so. We got 22 people in here, and how many likes do we have? 27. Okay, well, I can't complain. You guys are telling me you like the Pocket, I guess. But we should be caught up on the VOD streams, I believe. Or, well, we will be on Thanksgiving, I think. And what I'll probably end up doing with the VOD streams is make them... I'm going to post this one too. Why not? The VOD streams... I can't think of what I was going to say. Goodness gracious. I think I'm going to just try and upload the VOD streams as soon as possible, and I won't remove them from the main channel until they are up on the VOD channel. So there's that for the future. Okay, let's go Shopify products. I was gonna save this one for the video, but it's really not a part of it, so clear and black. I didn't make it a... okay, whatever. There we go. Set as active. Done. Save. And now that should also be a part of Game Boy Pocket. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now there are 3 Game Boy Pockets up for sale with varying mod kits. So, if you're one of the few who's been telling me that I need to get to doing some Game Boy Pockets, there you go. We've had a whole week of it, and to end this week we'll have it on we'll have a tutorial on Friday. How does that sound? Sounds great. We'll have 4 Game Boy Pockets up for sale by Friday, unless someone buys one in the meantime. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay. I think that is about all I've got for today. I'm going to get the VOD ready for today, which should be like last Monday's VOD. Let's see. It's the Mew one from a couple weeks ago. But we're only, okay, so we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 6 left to go. Monday's VOD will be next, or this Monday's stream, the one we just did, will be next Monday's VOD. That's how caught up we are, or how close to caught up we are. But let's, oh, come on. Let's make this one a premiere. Let's just set it to go now. I'm gonna pull up that. And where is my subscriptions? There it is. And I don't need to hear the music of the premiere. Copy and paste. Thank you for deleting those messages. I never saw them. Sweet. We can just go ahead and oh, you already banned them. Sweet. Okay. Cool. That is the link to the VOD for today if you want to keep the good times rolling. Only a few more times where I'm going to be able to post the stream at the end of the stream. So, yeah, there's that. Thank you guys for watching. I had a fun time, and that's the last Game Boy Pocket I will build for a while. So, if you want it, you've got many options, and if you're curious, the stream, or here. If you're curious as to what the last Game Boy Pocket's going to look like from the tutorial, it's all white with a gray screen lines. Here are all the Game Boy Pockets from this week. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Game Boy Pocket Week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. Loud car driving by right when I end the stream.